We're done asking. So we're not going to physically kick down the door with the guns blazing, but metaphorically, we're coming in with the guns blazing.
Yeah.
And what that means is we're not asking for a seat at anybody's table anymore.
Right.
What we're doing is we're building our own table.
Hey guys, it's Janice, the Retail Genius, and I have the honor and pleasure to sit down with my brother and partner, Josh Earl, to talk to you guys a little bit about funding and some of the exciting things that we have going on. But I wanted to have a quick conversation with Josh on what he has seen in the funding community, particularly when it comes to Black women getting funding for their beauty supply stores. And so I'm like a history buff. I just love to learn about the history, especially Black history.
Yeah.
And I often talk about the disparity and how the Asians were able to come into America and build beauty supply stores, not just beauty supply stores. We know the laundromats and liquor stores are predominantly Asian owned, and they were able to have access to funding in the 1960s. And so I wanted to ask you, Josh, how do you feel about where we've come from as a people in terms of redlining, not being able to get funding, to now 2026, where you're helping Black women actually get the funding to open in the industry where we were actually kicked out?
You know, I'll tell you, it's amazing because when you think about just everything Black people have been through, just as a culture, right?
Yeah.
We've had a lot of hurdles to jump, but when you dig a little bit deeper, when you think about not just Black people, but specifically Black women, you guys have been underserved, overutilized, and there's never really been a situation to where you have been put in a position to really get a benefit from all the value that you've added into the world. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to be able to partner with you on this whole life-changing, history-shaping, just amazing thing that we're doing, where we're helping these people actually get access to funding that they need to really change the whole trajectory of their lives. I don't even think you really realize like how big what you're doing really is. You know, when you think about everything that you're doing, like you are taking a person who may be lost, they want to do something, they don't know how to do it, but because you've already suffered and struggled through that process, you can simply hold their hand and walk them through that process. So Black women have added value to everybody around the world, but it's rare that, you know, the value is added back to you guys. So I'm really happy to be able to partner with you and help these women be able to get access to the capital that they need, because redlining is a real thing. I go to the beauty supply stores right now today and buy haircut products. My wife, my daughter. So I would much rather go a place that I know is owned by somebody that looks like me and support that business. But to be real, it's a rare thing that I see. There's always an Asian business that I'm going to and having to give them my money. So I think what you're doing is amazing, and it makes me happy as a father because I have a daughter who pretty much is a Black girl. And I want her to look at people that look like her doing something great because that's a great example for her. So I'm just, man, I'm extremely thankful. I'm extremely proud, and I'm just blown away that what we're doing is actually changing history.
Yes.
This is changing history. So this is amazing,
exciting.
Honestly. It is. It really, really is.
Yeah, it's exciting. So talk to the people about how you feel when you're able to get funding for someone. So we just had a client. I'll let you talk about her and the process. But at the end of the day, talk about that process, but also talk about, like, what do you think it will mean for the community if we're able to be successful at changing the face of the beauty supply industry and is successfully allowing the Black dollar to circulate in our community from manufacturer to retail space to consumer?
I'll tell you first, you know, it's not an if on this impact that we're about to make.
It's,
That's what y'all do, right?
Okay, it's a win. Come on.
Clock that joint. It's not an if. It's more of a win because it's going to happen. I mean, I think about Nikisha, for example, who an amazing client, right? You know, she's somebody that came to us and she had everything that she needed. And we were able to help her fix a few different things and just give her the strategies that she needed to get access to the capital that she needed, right? And so I think a lot of times people, they believe that a dream is out of reach. And a lot of times it is, unless you have a booster, right? And so the booster is working with you, which allowed her to then also work with me, which allowed her to get access to the money that she needed. So I think we got her over $200,000. And, you know, it was such a smooth process. And I'm telling you this, like, she is the ideal client for me. You know, you sent somebody who had a great attitude. They did everything we told them to do, and she got the result. You know, so I think if there's somebody who is trying to get access to capital to do this thing, you have the blueprint. Like, you've done it. And I've got money for so many people. Like, it's a layup. It's the easiest thing to do because they have people that already have done this thing. All right, what was the other part of it again?
So now, once we are successful in changing the landscape of beauty supply, and we are able to now have the black dollar essentially circulate in our community, from the manufacturers to the black retailers to our black consumers, right? What do you think that would do for our community as a whole? Because when we think about funding, back when we were segregated, that was actually when black people were the wealthiest. And we had Black Wall Street in many different states, right? It was a common theme because we were obviously forced to work together and to do business together. And we had more black banks. Fast forward to 2026, where I can only think of really one black bank in New York City. So, so talk a little bit about what do you see that going in terms of being able to now kind of, I don't know if I want to say reverse back to segregation or.
Actually, no, that the whole reverse of segregation is, I mean, I think there's value in, because I also know, just like you, like, I don't want to communicate the wrong thing. But segregation is not, like, it's not a bad thing, right? We're in a situation where I think every community adds value, right? There's something that every type of community add value with. But when you look at the value that's being added, we're always a community that benefits the least. So when you think about places like Oscarville here in Georgia, right? A thriving black community. What happened to it? It was destroyed. We talk about Black Wall Street in Tulsa. What happened to it? It was destroyed. We didn't destroy it. We were thriving. So we're in a situation where we are a group of people who we had many boots to choose from. Somebody came and stole all of them, destroyed them, and then they tell us to build ourselves up by our bootstraps. So you took our boots. You took our boots. So what we're doing now is we're not only are we equipping people with boots, we're teaching them how to build their own boots. And so the bootstrap situation is something that we don't even have to worry about anymore. A lot of times when you look at crime and what happens, it's because people are stealing, right? There's murder that's taking place. There's all these atrocities that's happening in our community. But we got to get to the reason why. There's a lack of education around financial literacy. And then there's a lack of access to resources. Tupac said one time, he said, you know, one of the problems is we've been standing outside of the house, banging on the door saying, hey, I'm hungry, please let me in. I'm hungry, please let me in. He said, well, then what starts to happen is as time goes on, the hey, I'm hungry, please let me in turns into, yo, let me in this MF. I'm kicking down the door, I'm coming in with the guns. And it's like, I've been asking you to let me in. Let me into the house that I built. We built this country. You know what I'm saying? Let me into this house that I've built. And we're at a place right now where we're done asking. We're done asking. So we're not going to physically kick down the door with the guns blazing, but metaphorically, we're coming in with the guns blazing. And what that means is we're not asking for a seat at anybody's table anymore. This is what we're doing is we're building our own table. We're self-sufficient and we make everything better. We make better food. We make cool. Everything we drive the narrative and the culture. We are everything, yo. So the fact that we're taking what we've learned and helping other people change the trajectory of their lives, it is the single most important thing that we can be doing today.
It really is. Like I always say with this movement, like we are literally modern day civil rights leaders.
100%.
100%.
Absolutely.
And you are at the forefront of it. So
but you're
shouts out to you.
Because seriously, without you and what you're doing, like, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Was it easy for you to build a beauty supply store?
It was not.
Like,
not when I started.
Of course.
I Yamaseyo, they would hang up on me if I didn't speak Korean.
Right. So you're removing that barrier in and of itself because you've navigated all of that. So I'm happy about this because I know that where I live, eventually there's going to be a Black beauty supply store that we've helped get
100%.
established that I can go and give them my money.
Yeah.
They know the products I need because their dad uses it, their husband uses it, their son uses it. My daughter products are in there because their daughters use it. They use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, this is amazing.
It's exciting.
This is amazing.
And we're excited, y'all. So stay tuned.
Definitely stay tuned.